Game 2 of our triple header on Fox is in the Big Ten, and fitting that we have rain, sleet, and snow as Maryland comes in to take on Michigan State on Senior Day. You see the elements, and it is a strong, beautiful football day in the mighty Big Ten, and we expect this rain turning to snow to be with us throughout the entire afternoon. Along with Spencer Tillman, Holly Saunders will join us shortly. I'm Tim Brando. Happy to have you with us. And this is a Michigan State team that is one win away, Spencer, one win away from flipping the script entirely from 3-9 to 9-3. But in order to do that, this team is going to have to get maximum from its defense that just got torched, and from an offensive standpoint, do what they've been doing.
Well, if they get to 10 wins, double digits, it'll be because of their quarterback, Brian Lewerke. I like him a lot. Mark D'Antonio, the head coach, absolutely loves him, so much so he started slinging superlatives. Connor Cook, Brian Hoyer, Kirk Cousins. He likes the gunslinger, the confidence and the intelligence in his game, and I like it too. But I like his athleticism that reminds me more of Drew Stanton. When you look at it, the top of the year, the first 5 games, he led this team in rushing. A couple of 400-plus yard passing performances in his belt. It shows you he's a dual threat.
Remember, this is a proud program. A number of these seniors on Senior Day played on a Big Ten title team. They know what D'Antonio has accomplished here. This is a huge moment for them, playing in their final game, even with the elements maybe affecting the crowd. This is the way it's supposed to be. And it's a team that relies on freshmen, redshirt freshmen, and sophomores to lead them, but they want to usher out their seniors the right way. And that means with a rock and roll open in a situation at home where the fans that have come out as strong as you could possibly imagine. And now, here come the Spartans. As we flip the script and take a look at the Maryland Terrapins, we've seen on our air a number of opportunities for them to win. A big win to open the season with Texas, and obviously the win at Minnesota. But the mash unit at quarterback has just been so difficult for DJ Durkin to deal with. If he can get DJ Moore, the big-time playmaker, involved, they've got a shot.
Well, he really got a shot with him, and I love his game. I love everything about him. He's understated, but he makes you hear him with his performance. He leads the Big Ten in touchdown receptions at 8, as well as yards, 857. That's a big-time performance, considering the fact, as you've stated so eloquently, that the problems at quarterback have been a major issue.
It is Senior Day indeed, but on the opposite side, this Spartan team, many of them coming out for that last time. I've always felt, Spencer, it's interesting they come out with carnations and they're about to play football.
You got to go hit somebody in the mouth after all those kisses and hugs, but they're up to it. It's a small group, as you pointed out, just 15 seniors in this cohort, but they are excited and ready to get after it.
On the other side, it has been a mash unit at quarterback throughout this season. And as DJ Durkin said to us, it's unlike anything that he's ever had to deal with in his entire career. Holly Saunders.
No, Tim, you're right. For Maryland, this season has been a quarterback carousel, to say the least. The season started with Pickram and Hill going down with ACL injuries, and Max Bortenschlager played 6 games before injuring his shoulder, and Ryan Brand started last week but was ineffective. According to head coach DJ Durkin, Max, if he is healthy, that is our guy. And after watching him during warm-ups today, Max looks like he's doing pretty well. Looks like he's ready to go. And now they're going up against a Michigan State defense, though, that has really been challenged by Mark D'Antonio, their head coach, this week in practice to step up their games. And according to their defensive leader, Joe Bocci, their defense needs to get their swagger back. And Tim, maybe you could share a little with them. I know you have plenty of swagger.
Well, I don't know, Holly. I see a lot of rain and sleet down there, and it appears to me she's completely dry.
That she does.
It's as if the heavens part where she is, and
it's that halo around her, man. Nothing touches Holly. It's the halo.
DJ Durkin spent some time with Jim Harbaugh and with the outstanding head coach at Ohio State, Urban Meyer. After a bowl season a year ago, which surprised many, he needs to win these next 2 to be bowl eligible again. Here's Ty Johnson taking the opening kick for Maryland, and he's met right at the 13-yard line. Falls forward to the 14. An outstanding hit there by Dominique Long, a freshman from Westerville, Ohio.
You want to set the tempo? That's how you do it on special teams. Come out, lay your mark, and make it easy. Oh, my.
Freshman loved it. Now let's get some Tillman's takes here.
Well, Timmy, it's about projecting confidence because of all the reasons you and Holly talked about, the issues in quarterback. DJ Durkin is concerned about how that's going to affect the other positions. Now, ultimately, Mike Tressel told us, the co-defensive coordinator said, these guys have got to strain consistently.
Ty Johnson's in the backfield. And a beautiful run right off the tackle spot, the right side. Very effective. Chris Fry, the outside linebacker, a senior from Arlington, Ohio, finally drags him down.
Here's part of the reason why they need to strain consistently on that defensive front. They don't have the stalwarts here when Pat Narduzzi was calling the shots, but they still got some young talents, some pups that need to grow up and play stout in those 3 techniques and 5s.
This is a Maryland team that's very athletic, and this guy right here, along with the receiver that we touched on, DJ Moore, are the playmakers. But what about Bordenschlager, who had his moments, as we mentioned, directed his team to a road victory in a game we had a little over a month ago against Minnesota?
Well, he started out number 3 on the depth chart, and again, because of that whole cascade of injuries at the mission critical position, he's had to step up his game. He's capable, he's able. We've seen him perform well under pressure.
Lorenzo Harrison is coming at setback now. And they go with a quick out. That one was nearly picked off. Davon Jacobs, the intended receiver, and then on the tip drill, it was almost snared out of the air. I believe it was Dowell, number 5, that had the best chance at it here as it slips away.
Well, it's about execution, about an opportunity to make things happen. Tavon has got to understand the quick game is going to be central to what they're going to try to accomplish in their offensive scheme because of the issues at quarterback. All of the playmakers are going to get the ball behind the line of scrimmage. Perhaps with the elements, they'll be able to make someone miss in space.
Harrison remains the setback on 3rd down and 8. Just underway from Spartan Stadium. Bordenschlager swings it out to Jarvis Davenport. Slips one tackle at the 30, ahead to about the 33. Shy of the first down by at least 3 yards, and so it'll be a punt formation for Maryland. One first down and then done in the opening series.
Second play in a row where they went behind the line of scrimmage again because of the elements and because of the difficulty at the quarterback position, trying to make the execution simple as possible.
Well, if they don't have the slip up on the pass and they just slipped out of the hands of the receiver, may have had a better chance. Wade Less will boot it away. Sophomore from Melbourne, Australia. We say that a lot in the kicking game these days. Cody White is back deep for Michigan State. Fair catch is made at the 32-yard line. A 35-yard boot, and that's where the Spartans will take over 1st and 10. Tillman's takes on Sparty offensively.
Well, if you follow Sparty, this almost seems like an aberration that we're saying that they need to establish the run game. But believe it or not, 4 straight contests, they've not been able to eclipse the 100-yard mark. 64 against Penn State in the embarrassment last week. And then ultimately, you got to be disruptive if you want to keep this team on their heels and one-dimensional. If you're Maryland, as you said, Tim, those smaller athletic guys have got to be able to get in those voids and disrupt on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Well, Maryland's been gouged. They're the worst defense in terms of numbers and stopping the run in the Big Ten. L.J. Scott expecting to tote it quite a bit. He gets ahead to the 35-yard line. As you look at Brian Lewerke, this young man has a chance to be special. Sophomore from Phoenix, Arizona, throwing for 2,338 yards coming in.
What I like about the guys, he can run the ball. As I said at the top of the show, the first 5 games of the season, he was the leading rusher. This guy can do it all. He can sling it as well. A couple of 400-plus yard passing efforts. He's a legitimate quarterback.
2nd down and 6. Spartans in the eye with Scott dotting it. Play action, and they go wide for Felton Davis. That one was airmailed just a bit, and it'll be 3rd down and 6. J.C. Jackson was over there covering number 7 for Maryland, the corner.
Well, Lewerke's got to be in control in this early portion of this. It's senior day. Those emotions are all over the place, even though he's not among that group. Coach D'Antonio understands that he's got a quarterback and an offense and an offensive line that is in a process of becoming much better. Only one senior on that front up there. They've had issues, and they know they need to batten it down. The quarterback is the guy that started off for them.
Spartans 41% on 3rd down conversions. That's 3rd in the Big Ten Conference. Out of the shotgun, Lewerke. Beautiful pass on a quick cross, and it's made by Darrell Stewart Jr. And if you watch Lewerke use his legs to keep plays alive. Stewart is great on comebackers too. That's a gain of 8 and a first down.
I like the fact that he moves so well in his pockets. Watch him get those eyes and then come back the opposite direction across the formation, following that shallow crossing route with his eyes. But if he needs, as you pointed out, Tim, to move in that pocket, sometimes it's always about getting that back foot before you get ready to release so that that ball comes out with integrity.
1st and 10 from the 43. There's Scott. Now, you know, Coach Wannstedt touched on it in the pregame a little while ago. He stopped by Jermaine Carter. He's put the ball on the ground 4 times for turnovers, and it became sort of a mental thing. The coaches finally decided, Dave Warner, the offensive coordinator, said, look, go out and just play. You know how to secure the ball, and they're hoping that he can run with the kind of abandon he had as a youngster when he was part of a championship team here. 9-yard gain there.
Well, I think he helps him in protection as well, as Dave talked about. If you notice on that last play, he actually came across the formation to get himself in a position where he could carry the ball. He can apply the same principles in protection.
2nd and 1. And Scott has the first down at the 45-yard line after the 3-yard gain. Isaiah Davis, number 22, making the stop for the Terrapins. Maryland gives up 36.2 points per game. That's last in the Big Ten, 115th in the FBS. And really part of the issue has been not just the size, but also the fact that they've been young at that position. And it's shown up from time to time. They've had their fair share of injuries to go with it. Scott remains the eye back. And that's what we're talking about. They've been gouged. And that's a first down. A saving tackle made in the perimeter right there. And a big block up front on the 13-yard gain. That saving tackle by Antoine Brooks.
Well, you can see on the stretch play out here, that ball is going to bend and then come back out here. The vision to see the hole is what made it possible.
L.J. Scott down at the 30-yard line.
Tim, a lot of the traffic that's in the middle of that happening is happening in between those tackles and those A-gap. It takes patience to get through there. You can see the little slow too fast through, and as a result of that game, they're going to start seeing these players getting a little bit chippy on the back end of it downfield. These receivers are engaging, trying to make those pathways for the running backs open. They're working and getting after it, man.
A little woofing going on later. It was not seen by the officials. 2nd down and 8. Scott already with 31 yards. Here's where Lewerke can really hurt you. Look at that. There's a lot of green. A lot of green. And a first down.
Well, I'll tell you what, if I'm not thinking they call that as a design call with the out routes coming on the backside. You had 2 receivers. He's eventually going to release this way, but the 2 wide receivers that were working opposite of him, both of them cleared out as if they were trying to create a little outside lane. And watch the get up on the back end of that. Putting them up, putting them down, the speed. I told you this boy can ball now.
22 yards on the carry. He's 3rd in the Big Ten in total offense. 271 yards a game, 234 pass, 37 rush. Why not? Scott, touchdown.
When all else fails, go with what tradition is all about. Kevin Jars, Byron Allen, the center on that right side. Just this power football right here. Put your head down. A nice little if block, though, so you got the offside guard coming around. That's nice, but it's still about power. It's about 1-2 when you get inside the green area. From the 5-yard in, following your fullback, being instinctive about it, and getting your nose in there. Colin Lucas, the fullback, number 40, finishing it off.
Yeah, that was a strong, almost Moose Johnston type of fullback block as the lead guy. 23rd career rushing touchdown for L.J. Scott, his 6th of the year. And the Spartans get the early lead. L.J. Scott tweaked his ankle last week in Columbus, but had a great week of practice, we were told, and it was certainly evident on that drive. 7 carries for 36, 5 yards per tote.
Tim, did you get the impression in talking to Mark D'Antonio and, of course, his offensive coordinator that they were going to kind of let this thing evolve and not really major on the whole notion of the fumbles and so forth? He's kind of come back aggressively as a result.
And that kick from Brett Scanlon goes out of bounds, so that will give excellent field position to Maryland. Ty Johnson on the previous series A little bit of an innocent play, but it appears he tweaked his ankle there. He did get up and was limping back, so they're going to need that young man to get healthy and quickly.
Yeah,
For now, though, Lorenzo Hudson is in there.
Yeah, Kyrie Willis, the safety, was the one that kind of rolled up on his ankle and got him on the back end of that. So we'll keep our eyes spot on him and see exactly what this guy is going to do. He's an outstanding talent.
1st and 10 for the Terps at the 35 after the penalty on the kickoff. Lorenzo Hudson, this young man is slippery too, and I don't mean because of the elements. That's Lewerke, number 48, that made the tackle. He's had 117 carries for 512 yards and has come out of the backfield to catch 8 this season for Maryland.
Well, Ty Johnson, of course, is the other half of that, and then Lorenzo. Between the two of them, they've got to find a way to get their run game going so they can take a few shots down the field, is what DJ Dorkin said he wants to do.
Harrison is a talent. That's the point. They do lose something with Ty Johnson, clearly, but this young man, a similar skill set in the backfield. 2nd and 6. He'll get it again and stretch it out. It is slippery when it's wet, and he gets it out to the 48-yard line. And now he quickly goes to, no, he was just checking with the sidelines. He'll get back out there apparently.
Well, he's trying to, first of all, he's running with integrity. He's got that ball seated, and Bocce tries to reach out there. He knows he should have had him on the back end of this, and he's frustrated. Boy, he's got that look, doesn't he? Loved talking to him.
Yeah, he is a fantastic football player with a high ceiling for the future. 1st and 10, and Johnson's back in the game, and he'll be stopped in his tracks. He's at the midfield stripe, a gain of maybe a half yard. That's about it. Officially, they'll give him nothing, so 2nd and 10.
Raekwon Williams in there, number 99, running heavy, and Demetrius Cooper at that defensive end spot. Those guys are big anchors up front, and they're going to be asking a lot, particularly when they just got those 3 techniques by themselves without ends outside of them to protect them.
Cooper, one of the few seniors that get plenty of playing time, one of 4. Senior from Chicago, number 98. On 2nd and 10, Johnson again burrows ahead into territory of Michigan State to the 48. Little extracurricular activity going on after the play with Fry involved.
I love Chris Frey, number 23, came down out of his position and really filled that gap up. That's really what playing great defense is about. It's about gap integrity. Everybody fitting yourself and your responsibilities like an index finger in a glove. Every position, every digit has got a void.
Fry, very much like Bocce, is a leader for this defense. Harrison back in the backfield on 3rd and 7. Low snap. Bordenschlager controls it. Well, he kept his composure there, but the pass just a little behind DJ Moore, and he couldn't hold on.
It was uncharacteristic drop by DJ Moore. He had to turn around and pivot, but first of all, the protection was good. The snap was a little bit low. You can see it hit the back end of the center there as it came out, and then Max had to go down and pull it up. But again, the little pivot in the turn, had to work for it a little bit, Tim, but I've seen him catch that pass a number of times. And Moore is an elite athlete, man. He's a consistent performer, big-time player.
Inability to convert on 3rd down has been problematic.
Yep, huge.
Last in the Big Ten, 119th in the FBS. They score by way of big plays normally. Les to boot it away.
That's good.
Goes with the over. And it's Cody White that makes the fair catch at the 13-yard line. It's a 40-yard boot. It was interesting when the score was given here at Spartan Stadium for the Michigan loss to Wisconsin. The crowd just cheered, and then they got the Ohio State score and they jeered. LJ Scott in the backfield on 1st and 10 with the ball at the 14. That's been the problem for Maryland all year. Just way too many yards given up between the tackles. And they're going to pound it all day long at them. That's 20 yards for Scott. He could have, really, if he stays healthy, a 250-yard day.
Well, he caught him in the perfect coverage because they came down and took a one safety look and actually bent it. What ultimately happened was there were fewer numbers around the line of scrimmage that put them in a short in terms of the numbers to defend that particular play. They were in a bind.
He's got 56 already with 3 and change remaining in the first quarter. Tries to the right side this time. They were able to answer. That's Brett Kolka making the stop.
Kolka working at that defensive tackle position, number 96, really came down and shut that down. That was one of our keys, our takes at the top of the show, playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage, and he did an excellent job on that play. 6'4", 260 pounds, a guy moving like that, that'll get your attention in a hurry.
It appears that Maryland is committing to stopping the run, which puts your corners on an island in man coverage. L.J. Scott again the setback. And he's getting 6-7 yards a tote. You can make a case they could hand it to him every time. Antoine Brooks, 25, making the tackle as he picks up what has been his average, 7 yards.
Tim, we've been majoring on what they lost this year, Maryland, on the offensive side at quarterback, but you know, it's really about what they've lost on the defense side. Let's take a look at the fullback and watch what he does here in the blocking. In that little bullfrog technique, he comes underneath, searching, looking for somebody to block. That's what you look for, instinctive running style for a fullback, to find somebody to put a hat on hat.
That was Joe Galange, and to go along with Colin Lucas, those two guys have done a really nice job. As Scott carries it again, looks as though it is enough for the first down. Stopped by Adam Olson there, number 91. 40-yard pickup.
Timmy, to close that thought out about what's happening to Maryland, it's not just what's happening on the offensive side of the ball. Jesse Anabottom, their buck linebacker, who was the top tackler last year, the heart and soul, they lost him early in week 1.
McLean made that stop. Adam McLean couldn't read my own writing that time. 2 minutes left. It's been a long season, folks. And it's a beautiful play fake there by Lewerke. I mean, that was just a thing of beauty. Sleight of hand in the fake, and he gets out all the way to the 47-yard line before being knocked out by Antoine Richardson.
Richardson given him a little business there at the end of that run, and I don't think they appreciated it either.
And the flag came down.
Yep. Nice little inside zone read.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense, number 20. That's his first of the game. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
I think it was more the woofing than anything else. Right here, watch right after the case.
Yeah, that's what it is. When you get the little sign, safe sign right there, really says you're not getting anything over here. That's just a little bit too much. He's really fortunate he didn't get called for targeting on that, because I think see the extracurricular activity there again, just a little no. You know, that official there, the side judge, is the one that got him.
Scott and Hayward are in the game. Inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. You know, that moment you were just describing, Spencer, I think these guys see on Sundays. Guys do that, and it doesn't get called. Well, this is college football, men, and you're going to get called for that every time. And, I mean, anybody that says that's being picky is watching way too much NFL and not enough college football. They're going to hit you with that, unsportsmanlike, anytime, especially when you're on the opposing team sideline.
Well, you know how I feel about it. I want the guys to be able to celebrate a little bit.
I know you do, but this is a different game. Scott gets it to the 25-yard line, and that, you make a point. As I said, that's a different topic for a different day.
Well, it's a great topic, but everything about this game seems to me at this stage seems to be almost opposite of what the intent is on a lot of levels. It's almost counterintuitive. You know, you see the targeting numbers are going up.
Yeah,
it's amazing. How do you
not? And it's not surprising that they're going up.
And you know the coaches are trying to coach it better.
Yep. We've come to the end of one. Michigan State leads it by 7 and are driving again on a cold, wet, sleety, snowy day in the Big Ten. Just the way you like it. The second of 3 on Fox today. As we open the second quarter, Spencer, that looks like snow.
Oh, chestnuts.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. We got to get an official report from Ollie Saunders downstairs. We open the second. It's 3rd down and 3. And it's a beautiful fake, and it's a touchdown, Lewerke. How about that play fake? I guess we'll find out from Holly later. 25 yards and the touchdown.
For the third play tonight, we've seen the running prowess of Lewerke. That's why he's so dangerous. That's why he reminds Mark D'Antonio of Drew Stanton. You can see, again, the inside zone read is what he fakes on, and he just keeps it underneath. Just a tremendous job of pulling that ball out and reading the end coming down, who makes a poor decision and takes him. He's got to be able to see that ball, but Lewerke made him pay for it.
Matt Coughlin will try for the extra point. You got to have great hands to keep that ball in there on that read for as long as he did, too. Little sleight of hand from the super soft from Phoenix, Arizona. And he goes in untouched. 14-0 Spartans. Well, we're going to get confirmation. It looks to, well, let's get the confirmation from Holly. Is it snowing, Holly?
Yes, Tim, it is. It's been teetering right above freezing the entire game. We went from rain to sleet to full-on snow now, and the wind is gusting. It actually turned my umbrella inside out right before the game started, so players are dealing with that too, and the fans out here are the true Spartan fans. I have to say, when I was a student athlete, I would have been in my dorm watching right now. I would have been here.
So exactly how did you play golf at such a high level in all of this, Holly? How did you do it?
Coach told me to. That's what happened. My feet are freezing, my toes are freezing. That's too bad.
It's been a homecoming for her. A number of years. Holly played collegiate golf here. Was also an outstanding basketball player. She made her way in, and here's the kick. Ty Johnson, a little problem picking it up, and gets up to the 19-yard line. With that in mind, let's get a little Holly Saunders Wonders in here. It's the hottest new episode that we have.
Oh, Tim, this is a very special wander for me. As I visited my old stomping ground at the Lash Golf Center here on campus, I caught up with my old golf coach, Stacy Slobodnik-Stoll. I hadn't seen her in a decade, so we went over to the brand new facility, which opened in 2016. It's absolutely beautiful. Checked out the locker room, saw some of the old photos, all the throwbacks, and of course, I ran into Tim, working on his putting stroke. Tim, you just can't beat me on my home turf, Tim. I'm sorry, you can't.
Alas, the iron unkind. Right there.
For show, putt for dough.
It lipped out. Here's Lorenzo Harrison to about the 20-21-yard line. They're trying to rip it out. It was great. There's Holly, a part of that Big Ten championship team from 2005 to 2009, and it was great to see her in her element yesterday, Spencer.
They love her yesterday. The cameras were around, interviews, and all that good stuff, and the seasonal elements just makes it all that much Holly.
She was also, we should say, as an adolescent, she was a Wendy's Heisman winner in middle school, too. High school Heisman. Quick out. DJ Moore in a lot of trouble. Well, that's great defensive work, and you can tell Demetrius Cooper in his final home game playing with a sense of purpose.
Kari Willis had a shot at him, number 27. You can see this is the distance here. Everybody's manned up inside, part of the quick game package, and he makes Willis miss there with an outside spin move. Just need to get more explosiveness down the field after working so hard to get the ball seated. Like the design of what they're trying to do offensively, they just got to get past that man-to-man coverage.
How quick was Cooper from that defensive end spot getting over there to make the stop? 3rd down and 9. Out of the shotgun, Bortenschlager. Pressure off the edge, lost the football. It's on the ground. Michigan State's got it. Flags are down as well. Wrapping him up and recovering is Brandon Randall, 26. And the fumble was picked up by Brandon Randall. But we'll have to check the flag.
Legal formation. Offense. Number 72. Penalties declined. Ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. 1st and 10, Michigan State.
Well, what they're looking at here, perhaps is either the guards and the inside. Number 72 is the one that they got. I'm not sure if his heels were off the line of scrimmage so as to not have 7 on the line of scrimmage. He should have been there, but they called it on 72. The pressure from the field side or the boundary side is what really initiated and caused the errant pass.
Kari Willis, 27. He caused the problem, and then Bortenschlager just dropped it, and Brandon Randall was right on top of it. The redshirt freshman from Battle Creek, Michigan, Central High School, with a recovery. The Spartans could make it really ugly for Maryland here if they can convert quickly, as Holmes is stopped maybe a yard, and that's about it.
You start to look at the body language of the Terps now, and again, it's what DJ Durkin was talking to us about. He's concerned about the impact of the quarterback situation penetrating down to the entire field, including the defense, special teams. We've seen a little bit of that already, mishandled balls and things of that nature. It's tough to overcome, but he's one of the great coaches, I believe. He's got his head on right, understands his young kids.
Yeah, no doubt about it. MB Tanya made that stop, and he's one of the tough pluggers in there. Number 50, junior from Houston, Texas, 2nd and 9. Holmes.
Running heavy, man.
Is he ever? He's not down yet. He kept himself up just with some leverage with that left hand of his. And it's 1st and goal after a gain of 14.
If you're looking in the dictionary at yak yardage, if there was an image, that was it on that last play. 7 additional yards after contact. You can see it happen here. Bang, bang, bang. And they're going pace and tempo back at you.
Holmes just shy of the end zone. Ball popped out late, but I think they ruled him down. See a Terrapin running out of there with it. I believe that's Jackson. But I believe they ruled him down. Well, they are saying it was a fumble. Wow, and it's Rayvon Davis that came out of there with it. Boy, what a break.
That's huge for him.
It appeared to me that he was lunging, but a lot of times when you lunge with the ball, you can lose it. He was lunging to try to get over that line, and you see it was knocked out of there. It was knocked out by Jermaine Carter, number 1. That is a fumble. Big break for Maryland. Wow. It was announced that the ruling on the field was fumble, but Rayvon Davis was down at the 1-yard line officially. He got up and rolled out to about the 19-yard line before being stopped. Good call. It was a fumble, and Jermaine Carter was the man that made the hit to loosen the ball, but he was down there. You could see Davis on the field, but a big break nonetheless for Maryland. They were going to be down 21-0 had Michigan State converted.
Yeah, it was Shane Cockrell, number 18. The Sam outside linebacker was the guy that was underneath them that prevented it from being ruled down.
High snap, quick handoff. It's Harrison. And he jitterbugs out to the 10. That's a great run. He's a yard shy of a 1st down. Justin Lane, number 2. Making the tackle, the sophomore from Cleveland's Benedictine High School.
You know, Spartan linebackers have got to really be disciplined when they play. They're trying to lobby for calls and missing their assignments. We talked about that with Joe Bacci, the stalwart in the inside last week, about missed assignments. That's what happened on that play.
Well, a slip that time by Harrison as he tried to get outside on the edge. And Juan Simmons over there making the tackle.
You know, there are a lot of good backs that can run in bad conditions like this. Natural field surface, you want to keep your feet underneath you, not cross over and try to cut back the opposite direction. You're going to lose your footing every time.
One of the few natural grass surfaces you'll find in college football, and alone in the Big Ten. Agricultural background here at Michigan State. Ty Johnson is back in the game. Purdue has natural grass. It's one of the only 2, very few that we have in the Big Ten. We were at Purdue earlier this year. Quick popper for Ty Johnson. And he's out to the 16-yard line. Simmons again making the tackle. It's the first 3rd down conversion of the game for Maryland. Huge. Here's Harrison out to the 22-yard line.
There's no question there's a dramatic carryover from week to week. And again, in talking to Joe Bacci, the Mike linebacker for the Spartans, he said, look, I had to change my whole orientation. I went inside, took a shower, got dressed again, and ate a big sandwich and felt sluggish in the second half of that game. It bothers you. These guys are dialed into routine. Anything that disrupts it, it can be a problem.
Yeah, Coach D'Antonio said, I loved what he said. He was coming out of the shower. I couldn't believe it. Saw Bacci. But he thought it was a good idea. But Bacci admittedly got back into the game bloated from having had too many sandwiches in the locker. Ahead to the 25-yard line goes Harrison, and Demetrius Cooper making the tackle.
Yeah, Tim, I remember back in the old days that Jerry Rice was almost anal about that kind of thing. He would, if a wrinkle was in his suit, he'd take it off and get dressed again.
We've waited a long time for this play. Going for the fade, nice back shoulder, and Moore had it and lost it.
Can't complete it.
Boy, oh boy, you got to make that catch. Justin Lane was right there with him. It was to the back shoulder, and it's for a nice gain. Gives you midfield all before the half, and a player of his caliber's got to make that play.
Well, Justin did a nice job of defending. Typically, he's the field corner, means he's got more space to cover. But again, the short side of the field does a nice job, kind of in a narrow space of defending without drawing any attention to him. And of course, the yellow flag didn't come out. That's good. That's a good win.
Nelson, 13, and White, 7 are back deep. 28 plays run by Maryland, 64 net yards as Lees boots it again low. And it hit like a Mac Daddy lob wedge from Callaway.
Went sideways, didn't it?
Yeah.
Just stopped on you.
38-yard boot for Lees. And Connor Hayward is checked into the game. He's now in motion to the top of your screen. Lewerke with a little screen for Scott. He could not hold on. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Andy Boo, the defensive coordinator, playing zone there, dropping 8. Just with a 3-man rush, trying to affect the quarterback. And again, Sparty not able to execute on offense. Lewerke is going to try to dial it up and try again.
Boo talked about this past week making quarterbacks more uncomfortable, finding a way to get creative blitzes to get them off their mark, off their spot. Easier said than done, and particularly when you're working against a guy like Lewerke, who tends to really do well when ad-libbing.
And once again, just rushing 3.
Yeah. Pressure coming late, and he gets rid of it outside the tackle box. Jermaine Carter was in hot pursuit.
Yeah, he's that inside linebacker, and again, he's kind of green dogging, kind of like a back would do. If there's nobody he's responsible for blocking, he's free to go. If he doesn't see a responsibility, a back leaking out, he can come after the quarterback. He's an unbelievable gifted young man, and Coach DJ Durkin talks about meeting with him at least once a week, sometimes more, because he's the heart and soul. The one part of consistency as they've gone through this tough stretch, losing 5 of their last 6.
Now beware of the turtle, because the program is in great hands. They just need to get healthy and await the next season to begin, because
got your back.
Really recruited well. That pass is incomplete. Intended for Sokol, the tight end. Right now, let's send you to Rob Stone. He's got a lot to discuss in the warm confines near the Avocado Room in Los Angeles, our State Farm halftime show. In settings like this, you can call it cool or ugly. Either way, you'd be right. And from a numbers standpoint, Maryland offensively has been more ugly than cool. And I think that's going to be the real key in this second half. Spencer Tillman, as we welcome you back to Spartan Stadium. Holly Saunders talked to the coaches. We'll chat about that in a moment. But your thoughts on what Maryland can do, you know, to get something done offensively, because that hasn't been there.
Would take a courage pill. That's what you can do, because it's been total domination in the trenches by Sparty. Again, on the defensive side of things, only allowing 58 yards rushing, 68 total. Again, the domination total and complete. The inside linebacker game, Bocce and company just absolutely shut them down. And then alternately, the rush game. We talked about at the top of the show, 4 straight games under 100 yards. Well, they're about 190 for the half. And again, between Lewerke, of course, and Holmes and company at the running back, and it's been an unbelievable half considering the conditions in the ground game. So the focus on the run is what Sparty's been doing, and Coach D'Antonio has got a winning first half.
Connor Hayward is awaiting this boot. Takes it from about the 7. And Hayward is out to the 28-yard line. Let's go down to Holly Saunders. Holly, what did the coaches have to say?
Spencer, Coach D'Antonio agrees with you completely. He told me before the game how important it would be to get the run going, to get L.J. Scott going. He told me you'll see much more of that in the second half. They're really embracing that, and it seems to be working for them. He said they're going to run the ball because the weather is awful. And speaking of the weather, Coach Durkin said that the field is getting muddier and muddier, but they love it. They are changing their attitude for the second half, Tim.
You gotta love it, right? I mean, if you're, what else is there? And I suspect that for the Terps, Spencer, a little more between the tackles for them, maybe not trying to get wide so often with their run game and these kinds of elements.
As long as it's just a 2-touchdown score, I think they can stick to that game, the quick game, and then the inside zone running. But eventually, if Sparty scores again, they've got to.
Yeah, L.J. Scott, nice stuff. See that? They get those big plays between the tackles. Again, it's Antoine Brooks. He's made touchdown-saving tackle after tackle in this game. as again Maryland's defensive front is being thrown around.
Well, it's the inside game. Again, nice reach blocks inside and the patience there. I mean, Scott is just doing a fantastic job of just stutter stepping when he sees the hole behind those big offensive linemen and his fullback. Again, Colin Lucas, number 40, leading the way. Just showing great patience to sift through the line of scrimmage for 11 yards.
And vision too. First down, Scott in the backfield again. And on first down, a little extra effort from the senior, and he gets it out to midfield. That's a healthy gain. Adam McLean, 91, making the stop.
Oh.
Percy Snow, remember him?
Oh, yes, backer, yeah. That was a plugger right there. He could run and chase, though, man. He was a sideline to sideline guy who was fierce.
In the snow, we remember Percy Snow. 2nd and 2 coming up. I think of the old Duffy Daugherty days and Big Bad Bubba Smith and George Webster.
Hannah
played in that 66 game with Notre Dame, a 10-10 tie. Old Duffy Daugherty got it going. Gerald Holmes remains in the setback, and he'll take it on 2nd down. He has a first down inside the 45 to the 44. Thank you,
Timmy. I wonder if there's a particular shade of green they're waiting for.
Well, I'll tell you this: Niamatalola is one of the best coaches in the game. Military academy or not, he's had opportunities, as we well know, and he loves it there. Not surprised Navy's right with him. As Holmes bounces off and is inside the 40, down at the 39 in the arms of Jermaine Carter.
Always tough to tool up for those triple option attacks, man, when you've been dealing with throw game and spread and all that other stuff. It's tough. Great play by Carter. Again, you can see him. He anchors, man, and plays about as effectively with leverage as any player I've seen. But look at him slide off the trash and the garbage, the noise inside to make an outstanding play on the edge.
That guy should play on Sundays.
Yeah. Look at his body language. He's just wired, man. That's the kind of attitude you want right there.
2nd and 6. Holmes keeps his balance, those short, choppy steps. It really helps in these slick circumstances. MB Tanya with the tackle, number 50 for Maryland. It'll be 3rd down and short coming up. And maybe more like intermediate, 3rd and intermediate. We'll call it 3rd and 4.
The elements, I call it the inner game. The inner game cannot not be played. Who's running fast despite the elements and who's competing? Carter's competing.
They've got the wind in this quarter. And Michigan State is at an offensive advantage, and they've got quality field position. What are they going to do with it? They keep it on the ground, and that's why Holmes inside the 25 to the 22-yard line. Antoine Richardson with a saving tackle, a 16-yard gain.
Yeah, if number 20's not there, you're in a spot. Here's Richardson coming here, and the play will come inside. It's the inside zone read. Number 20 comes down high out of the hole to make a play, and if he doesn't, he hits his head on the goalpost for another score. And again, it really starts to come down. Just a tremendous job of look at him instinctively pull that ball up to his chest when he feels bodies coming around him of opposite color jerseys. And again, the nice stop in open field.
Play fake and a bootleg action here from Lewerke. He'll take himself out at the 15. Going back to Holmes for just a moment, he was the young man that decided to take his case to his coach after that 3-9 campaign and said, listen, we lost our identity. Let's have some players only meetings. Let's take ownership of what's going on. And for him and for a lot of these seniors, it means a lot to finish this season 9-3, go to a bowl and get a 10th win.
Well, clearly it means a lot to him. Again, he was just 40 yards on 9 carries, was his best performance so far this year before today, and he's showing up big time.
2nd down and 3. Inside the 10-yard line. That's another first down. 1st and goal coming up after a gain of 5.
David Beadle over that left guard and Kevin Jarvis, man, they're just pounding away. The point of emphasis in the second half was just all about this domination on the inside line and the guards and the tackles, and they're continuing it well into the second half.
See, they play Rutgers on the road. That would get them to 9 wins. And an opportunity, if they win that game, to go to a bowl, not a New Year's Day 6, but probably one in the state of Florida. Good weather. And you get a 10th win, and all of a sudden now the narrative of your program is back where it was in prior years to 2016. Holmes is stopped after about a yard, and that's it. Now, maybe they're talking late turnover here. And with those scrum situations, we have learned that you had better wait and see if there's a late signal. Pretty good idea, though, by Maryland to be trying to strip it out of there. They need a turnover here.
That's one way you can tell whether or not the team is engaged. Are they trying to make a play? No give up here. Again, you can see Holmes searching for some space in there. Colker and company ripping, trying to strip that ball out. Hey, he's not down on the ground. They're still alive.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Michigan State, number 55, 15-yard penalty, second down.
I think that may have been a reaction to the overzealous Maryland approach to try to get that strip. Jordan Reed took umbrage to it, and the freshman got tagged, and that's what Coach D'Antonio is learning now.
He's not liking that at all. Again, that's one of the youth exposing this team. A poor decision as they're knocking on the door to try to put this game out of reach, and you've got a young player making a mistake that cost you big time.
Second down and goal. Remember,
he says that's you.
Backed up at the 23-yard line. Very significant penalty by the second team tackle in the game, number 55 for Michigan State. Little shovel pass. And it is Sokol, and he gets it down to the 10, inside the 10.
Sometimes they'll go with their big personnel. They love their tight ends. Don't use them a whole lot in the run game inside. But since you've been running with Holmes and company pretty heavily, the little clever action right underneath here, you can see the sweep action, jet sweep to the back, but it's the tight end who gets it. Almost like a Utah pass, only with the tight end as opposed to the back.
That's just the second. That's just the second completion for Lewerke today. Gerald Holmes is in the backfield as Lewerke is in the gun. He'll keep it. And slides down in front of the tackle by Richardson. Is on that read. He chose to keep it. And 4th and goal coming up, and field goal time, which would be important, obviously, to make it a 3-score game. Matt Coughlin checks in, the redshirt freshman from Cincinnati. Made a 37-yarder.
Well, Richardson has really been playing good ball down here. Again, got called for the interference a little bit earlier, but on that play, run force, he was where he was supposed to be to force an attempt. At least they've got the win to their backs.
Yep, he had a 37-yarder, the lone points in the Ohio State debacle a week ago. Slight angle left. It's like he pulled it. He did.
Wow.
And a late marker comes down.
Yep.
Well, let's see. Shaquille Vay may have been guilty running into the kicker. We'll check this out.
Running into the kicker. Defense, number 84. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So it doesn't give them a first down, obviously, because it was 3rd and goal, but it does give them a mulligan. And he's trying to hold up.
Yeah, you know, that's weak.
And he was trying to hold him. You want to?
I'm sorry.
You want to debate that one with me?
Wow.
Durkin has every right to be upset. I mean, he really does.
Jaquill's just clearly trying to pull up. Really. Wow.
I mean, that's an anticipation call. It's just that simple. Now it'll be 27 yards, same angle. And this time, ooh, he got away with a slice. But it does make it 17-0. That is a huge call.
Oh.
Big call. Home team now up by 3 scores. Oh, I sliced it, but I got away with it. I'm with you, Coach. Some quality advertising for a potato chip company as the band marches on. The turtle is lonely.
Yes.
Fear the turtle, though. Durkin's got a good quality young team that just had to suffer through too many injuries through the course of this season. Sparty pumped up now with a 3-score lead, and Scanlon will boot it away for Michigan State. That's Funk bringing it up.
Oh, it's got some room.
Look at Jake Funk go all the way out to the 41-yard line. So the Funkmeister gets it out there for Maryland. We come to the end of the 3rd quarter with the snow falling. Why not take it in, huh? We'll have the 4th when we come back. Mercy Percy Snow. This combination in the backfield has been dynamite for Sparty.
Well, again, after those 4 consecutive outings where they couldn't get 100 yards, they blew that out of the water with 190 in the first half, and they continued on behind Holmes and company and Scott. Excellent job in the second half.
Max Bortenschlager back out there for the first time in the second half. And again, airmails a pass towards the field as he was looking at the sidelines for DJ Moore. He has a tendency to miss open receivers high. That's been true all season, whether in these elements or otherwise. And that was an opportunity missed there.
Well, listen, Walt Bell is a great offensive mind, but you know, in the elements, even though they appear to have calmed down, that's a next level throw across the field into the snow, man. That's a tough throw.
Second and 10. Bortenschlager on a little curl coming back to DJ. Outstanding stop in space by Antoine Simmons, 34. Youngster from Ann Arbor, Pioneer High School. Antoine Simmons making the stop. He's a quick twitch guy, and you can tell he's got a tremendous future, number 34 in green.
Yeah, Mike Tressel told us there's a number of youngsters he's going to start moving up to get more time. Andrew Dowell's the star at that player at that position, number 5. But again, Antoine Simmons, as you pointed out, is going to get a lot more playing time along with some of the guys up front as well.
That's now 20 passing yards for Maryland after that completion. Lorenzo Harrison in the backfield on 3rd and 5. I wonder now if it's 4-down territory. This one is caught. We won't find out because it's a first down. DJ Moore cradles it at the boundary.
That catch made possible because of Justin Lane. Justin Lane is playing a technique here. Number 2, he's playing a bail technique. His back is to the quarterback. It's man coverage, but his back is to the quarterback. He doesn't see the ball come out, so he can't close it. That's an opportunity to step underneath that and pick it.
1st and 10. Bortenschlager's pass is open. That's Tavon Jacobs. He lost it. And now a marker comes down. Okay, now was it incomplete or was it a catch and a fumble and a recovery before the flag?
It's going to be defensive pass interference, but he didn't complete the catch. But if it's pass interference, it won't irrelevant. Matter. It won't matter.
Well, a lot of those have happened today to Maryland. Coulda, shoulda, wouldas in the passing game.
The ruling on the field is a completed catch. There's no foul on the play. First down.
And he did recover his own fumble. So that, in effect, in real time, I actually got right. Jerry McGinn, our referee, says. And he did complete that. Yeah. He did go down and then lost it.
Well, let's see if that's not a helmet-to-helmet tag there, too. So, and he may have been defenseless. They'll probably get this off.
And Jake Funk is in the backfield. Number 34. Play fake to him. Bortenschlager in trouble. Now flushed and down. Lewerke is 48. Gets the sack. I think he was trying to get DJ here.
Well, he was trying to get Moore, too, and Moore just came down underneath, tried to do an arm over technique to get open. It's just excellent coverage on the back end there by Justin Lane, the field corner. The pressure kept coming up the middle. Raekwon Williams, the nose tackle and company, and of course, 48. Kenny was all over him.
That one is caught. That's Jacobs. Very close to the necessary line to make.
Kerry Willis had him dead to rights. 27 again, the back safety, and Jacobs kind of stepped out of it. You're going to see 27 right here working on him. Got nice leverage. The little natural pick by Moore got him off of his man a little bit, but he had a chance to make that play in space. Just missed him 4 extra yards before he got out of bounds.
I think you can see some confidence in this Maryland offense now that they have the wind at their backs.
Yep.
Harrison in the backfield. And he'll take it.
That's great
all
running.
the way. Touchdown, Terrapins. An excellent drive by Maryland. How big now is that? Think about it. How big now is that penalty on the field goal try?
Folks, when we say smoke through a keyhole, this is what we're talking about. Despite the push, he's able to squeeze through their spin move to get inside. The last line of defense couldn't stop him in there. Just a tremendous effort. Max loves it. Number 18, the first one to help him up.
Darmstadter for the extra point. So that's their second possession, technically, because they had a 4th down and punt to open. If they get the ball 2 more times, they got a shot. Suddenly a 10-point game, 17-7. Michigan State with the lead. Yeah, excessive juice. As we like to say in our business, no pops until after the game. But there can be excessive juice during the game if you're participating in it. And you see Danny Sutton is ready to kick it away for the Terrapins. See how well, he's got wind behind him, and he got underneath it. It's a high kick and short, taken by the up back. And he's getting free out to the 45, maybe the 46. Antoine Simmons, you know he's pumped up. Normally tackling people. Sure, there's some running back in him, though. You got to figure. And he took advantage of some blocks here on this short kick.
Well, up back, no, they're typically not going to feel the ball, but he shows great patience here and waits for those heavy guys to get in front of him. Just nice, solid running upfield to put him past the 50-yard line or close to it.
Move over, Le'Veon Bell. I'm here.
At that 34, man.
Great field position for the Spartans here at the 47-yard line after that run by Simmons. You think L.J. Scott's going to get a steady diet?
You better believe it.
Lone setback, number 3. He had a career best first half. There he goes. That'll get him at least 6, maybe 7 on first down. Jermaine Carter, the first to make contact.
That play's set up because of the steady running inside. Again, when you're able to come back and across the field, across the formation, that's been set up by those inside runs. And all of a sudden, those big, heavy guys up front try to get to that gap. But the hole is going to break almost 2 spots over from where they are. And that's just conditioning. Great play calling and selection there by Dave Warner, getting his back 2 holes away from where he typically has gone the balance of this second half.
Dave told us they wanted to run the ball. They wanted to get some explosive plays, and they've gotten them out of the ground game throughout. 2nd down and 3. And another first down gained on the ground from Scott.
You know, some of his play designs, this is just about north and south running here, but he does give his backs latitude, L.J. Scott and of course and Gerald Holmes, the latitude to read and go away from the immediate or intended blocking combination. And again, I think that's what they're looking for a little bit more. More creativity in what they're doing offensively is going to help Sparty. They've got a quarterback that they can lean on that can help them out in that. When teams start bringing down an extra defender to deal with that inside run game, that's when Lewerke can come out and be a big asset in the run game.
256 total yards, you may have read on the Fox box there, for rushing for Michigan State. And that guy, number 3, has the lion's share of it. 135 and counting as he takes off here and is stopped at the 41-yard line, pushed back by Antoine Brooks. You know, you look at it, Spitzer, and with the clock ticking, and don't forget that great rivalry between Cal and Stanford coming up. Joe Davis and Brady Quinn will have it for you. Bruce Feldman, I notice, is in the studio today. He's been on the sidelines for that team all year long. The thing you have to look at here for Michigan State is if they get another first down, the clock just continues to run. It takes a minimum of 2 possessions here because of that field goal try that they got a mulligan for on a very questionable running into the kicker call. If this were a 1-possession game at 14-7, the dynamics would be completely different.
No question. At some point in time, you got to start using those timeouts too.
On 2nd and 9, Scott burrows as MB Tanya gets him. Here it is. This was going to be about a 33-yarder, and you can see him holding up.
Tic-tac.
I mean, very tic-tac. Durkin very upset, and then he gets a 27-yarder, barely. And the difference between 3 scores and 2 at that point, and now 2 and 1 at this, is significant.
Well, again, it goes back to the whole discretion deal. I mean, it's not snowing now, but it was hard at that time. And trying to stop on this field, this natural surface, you get yourself hurt more often than not. So I think that was just a bad call.
Happens. These guys do the best job that they can. Lewerke, boy, that was tough. Incomplete. Sokol with the intended receiver, and Richardson was over there covering. Both guys were slipping. Fans wanted a interference, but that was incidental contact.
Well, Carter was really after him, man. Lewerke, he had to get out of there because the number 1 was on his hind parts, forced that ill-advised throw, and again, nothing good happens when you're horizontal trying to throw a football.
Lewerke just 2 of 14 for 20 yards, but he does have a rushing touchdown in today's game. Now DJ Moore is back deep. That kick return, by the way, by Simmons flipped the field for field position, so
he'll field this one. This will be good.
Moore lets it bounce and will go down inside the 15-yard line. 29 yards on the boot. Maryland needs it twice, and they need to score twice as the snow falls in East Lansing. Out of the shotgun.
Nice, got him.
It's right there, and it's dropped. How many times has that happened? Lorenzo Harrison, granted the ball might have been thrown a shade behind him, but catchable.
Got to make that one, though, and the hash caught him in a cover 2 type scheme. The softest part of the field are going to be right up the middle. Again, nice zone read to kind of bring those linebackers up, get the ball just over the top of them, and that's exactly what he did on that play. Just couldn't complete it. Joe Bocci got fooled, pulled him up, missed the throw.
Jake Funk is in the backfield. Bortenschlager remains at quarterback. Maryland has got to get something here.
Oh, he may have.
Yeah, Moore has the first down and then some.
Well, they're pacing tempo now, trying to take advantage of it. The weather's kind of calmed down a little bit more. The precip not as heavy as it was earlier.
And the wind is at your back.
Yep.
And it's a big wind. As we mentioned, sustained at 20-25 miles per hour. First down for Bortenschlager. Funk remains the setback.
Got him again.
Yep, caught on the corner by Moore and right.
Justin Lane on that boundary over there, number 2. They keep coming back to him again, and Moore's the guy. They're going to go to him. Remember, 8 TD passes, that leads the conference. He's caught a pass going back almost 2 years now in every single game.
31 games coming in.
Mr. Dependable.
Had a few drops early that hurt Maryland.
Yeah, indeed.
Harrison is now the setback on 2nd and 1.
I better get out of this right here because that's it. He got him right now.
Missed him. And a sack. Bocci got to him. But you're right. He had an open receiver he didn't see.
Yeah, you had a 12-yard distance between the receiver, and the type of coverage that they were playing allowed that inside receiver just to turn and present his numbers underneath. That's like stealing. I mean, again, this right here, this combination of route here across his face or the switch, either way, he's open. Number 10 is open right now. You got to be able to see that, but the pressure's coming up in your face. It's problematic. That offensive line has got to protect him.
3rd and 4. Here comes pressure up the middle. For the boundary again for Moore. A lot of cushion being given over there. Clearly they are trying to keep defensively, keep Maryland in front of them. Justin Lane ushering him out.
See, now they're out of character. Now Mike Tressel, co-defensive coordinator, told us that they were going to try to pressure early. Now, again, the context is first down. They're going to tend to be more conservative. 2 deep safeties typically. Tells you the smartest part is this is where they're most vulnerable, except they're rolling to a single coverage.
And he loops one deep this time. 50-50 ball, almost intercepted.
It's dangerous.
Moore became the defender. Did a nice job, too, in making sure Justin Lane did not get the pick.
Well, they did a great job after he picks up the bad snap, and then Sparty rolls into a single coverage look. That meant they had an extra defender out there where he tries to go with the ball. And again, you can see there's another defender coming here, but you also have a guy outside, Justin Lane, the field corner, playing that side as well. So ultimately 2 defenders on 1 player because they rolled to it late.
Remember, Johnny Jordan had to move in at center because of the injury to Brendan Moore in the first half. So a new center, and that showed up on that snap. Bortenschlager again for Moore. He's got a first down inside the 35-yard line.
He's given Brand the luxury and the flexibility. When they go with 2 deep safeties all day long, the weakest part of the field is going to be along the hash marks. It's up to the quarterback to find the open receiver.
That's 20 yards, and DJ Moore is gassed.
And they're staying back in this 2 deep look. I mean, this is where they're going to be vulnerable here, right up the hash. You got him.
Bortenschlager again decides to run. You're right. He turned down some open receivers, didn't he? Yeah, DJ Moore is absolutely gassed. Watch this after the catch, Spencer, a moment ago.
It was a helmet-to-helmet pop too, and again, you can see him breathing. He got touched on that play.
He's breathing hard.
Yeah,
at
he's
that
breathing
point.
hard, but he got touched on that play. I'm going to tell you.
Mortenschlager's pass on the curl is complete, and that is Jacobs. Tavon, the senior from Camp Springs, Maryland.
Sparty playing it safe with their coverage, seeding the underneath routes.
He had a career high 8 catches for 92 last week against Michigan.
Somebody's going to be open here.
Going fade into the corner. Incomplete for Moore. Justin Lane right there with him. He was really tired, and now he's limping a little bit as he comes back towards the line of scrimmage.
Justin Lane does a nice job of just touching him and bouncing and then trying to locate the ball. Not that he has to. There's no face guarding here at this level, but again, that's nice man coverage across the board by Sparty on the back end. Mike Tressel trusting his guys down here to go with man coverage.
Yeah.
No more of that too deep look that kind of got him burnt earlier.
Harrison remains in the backfield. Jacobs now comes back to help with some protection. Looking again for the end zone. Pass underthrown for Harrison. Well, it was a nice wheel route, and the pass just a little underthrown.
Chris Fry, the Sam linebacker, was the guy that was in a trail technique. And again, the ball needed to be, had some air underneath it. It was a bad duck. Looked like it had a string on the end of it and just kind of died right in front of the defender. And he just missed him, man. It's just tough. But he knew it.
3rd and 10. Mortenschlager with pressure off the edge, trying to dump it underneath. The ball was deflected. It was Jones, 93, that got his big mitts up there, and it's 4th down.
Naquan Jones, number 93, got that big hand. You can see that hand come up here. If you can't affect the quarterback by getting to him, there's other ways to do it. Raise those hands up if you're sure.
Well, you got to have 2 scores. So rather than going on 4th, they're going to have the field goal try of Darmstetter. Youngster out of Alexandria, Virginia. You see his longest is 51. This is from 36.
Missed
and
it.
he didn't get it.
You'll still have him. Oh, man. That's tough.
I mean, listen. He hit a 37-yarder, the only points last week. Looks like the hold was good. He just pushed it.
Wow.
But they decided not to say that the game was on the line now. They're going to get points here. And sadly, that's the kind of season it's been for DJ Durkin. Mark, on the other hand, he's so understated even when it's a missed it.
Gave the old punch.
By the way, you know, I loved our conversation with him. Mark is an understated leader. What he has done here in his 11 seasons is remarkable. I think that young man right there at 39 years of age still has a tremendous future in the Big Ten.
I just love his attitude, and I think his awareness of what the challenge is and how to get back from it. He's got a plan and a strategy. Love being with him.
Holmes ahead for 3. Second and 7 after the timeout. Maryland's got to use him here. Only one left. And that's Scott. Ooh, the ball, did it come out loose? Did it come out? No. He kept churning, and he's at the 27-yard line. A little late.
Well,
a little late with that whistle being blown, and Maryland players were just trying to hang on to him and try to strip the ball too. And the final timeout is taken by Maryland.
That is the final charge. Timeout of the half.
They're scrumming around and they're trying to pull it out. And again,
I think they want to keep him upright so they can try to get the strip. That's
he
part
still
of it.
had the ball.
Yeah, he did.
There's a contingency out there that believes that the SEC still, even in the year in which, they had Georgia, but they're not the SEC of 7-8 years ago.
Yeah,
right?
Top to bottom, absolutely not. All the more reason, though, to play. Would you rather see Alabama play Missouri today or Mercer? If you're a college football aficionado, I rest my case. Scott ahead for the first down, and that should do it. I'll tell you what, Wisconsin answered a lot of critics today.
They really did.
I mean, a lot of critics.
Well, I call it the element of recency. What you do last, people tend to remember most. And November is the month when you make the marquee statements to close it out.
Be very interesting, the what-if game that is played in the next 4 or 5 days leading up to the holiday weekend, Iron Bowl weekend.
Well, it helps that you're part of a blue blood conference, to be sure, and they'll get all the consideration, much like Ohio State did a few years back when they leapfrogged TCU and Baylor on that final weekend.
Yeah, Ohio State did it by virtue of blowing out Wisconsin.
That's right.
In that 2014 Big Ten title game. And it's going to be, listen, for Wisconsin's sake, they're going to need Ohio State to take care of Michigan next week to bolster them, okay, if they still need that help. And by the way, in all this conversation, UCF not even mentioned, and I think that's shameful.
Sorry.
Because of how good that football team is, and nobody good wants to play them.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, Maryland did at home and got spanked.
Yeah, that's right.
Georgia still has, I think, a very good chance to get back into it, though, because of winning the East and having that shot at either Alabama or a rematch with Auburn. And Lewerke takes care of it with a kneel down, and Senior Day has been preserved for the Spartans. And Damian Terry getting in there to take it. He gets that opportunity to come in for the final play. Senior from Erie, Pennsylvania. And what a nice gesture, I think, on the part of D'Antonio and the coaching staff, with the understanding that an opportunity for the senior to take the snap, to hold on to the ball at the end, is a very nice thing to do.
Yep.
Well, I guess they'll just concede, and they will. Little letter of the law not being taken into consideration.
I think that's great. He was an outstanding freshman when he came in.
Yes,
they used to cheer his name.
There's our final, 17-7, and coming up after this break, we'll send you to Rob Stone in Los Angeles for more college football coverage. Cal and Stanford coming up. For Spencer Tillman, Holly Saunders, who had a great time at our alma mater this week. Tim Brando, so long for now.